Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome to another LSB film podcast with me, your host, Chris Brooks. I hope everyone's well today. My guest today is David James and he appears for his third appearance after a much long anticipated wait. Today we pull back the curtain on the digital ID rollout, unpacking the growing unease among business owners and examining the forces, agendas and power structures shaping this shift. What forces are driving this change? What do they stand to gain? What do we stand to lose? And what can we do to protect ourselves moving forward on how we work, play and live? This one will probably be quite a lot to take in, so get yourself comfortable and let's get into it.
Are you concerned about all this corruption being rebranded as conspiracy theory? Well, don't you worry. Sit back and relax and join in the conversation with today's guest. Welcome to another LSB Film Productions podcast with your host, Chris Brooks.
And so, yes, a very warm welcome, Dave. It's nice to have you back on here. Now,
Nice to be here.
So can we get straight into it then? Because I feel this is going to be quite a complex podcast. Digital ID, how it affects businesses. Go.
Right. Well, excuse me. You may remember, your viewers may remember, the last conversations that we had regarding the fraudulent BC and what it is and how they're wielding this fraud against the public before you've even taken your first breath. This is just the digital incarnation from it. This is a fraudulent bond title that's being attached to men and women in violation of every slavery law and every fraud law in existence. There is no difference really between this digital ID and the BC itself. It's just another way of doing it, and it's also a way of concealing crime if they get away with it. So it's really important everybody say no to this, because this is a precursor to a digital currency and a level of control that you cannot comprehend. Serious control, and when under this, it would be almost impossible to remove yourself from it.
So a little bit, shall we say, like the credit system in the Chinese.
I would imagine that social
thing.
credit score, and if anyone's looked into that and seen how serious that is, and how seriously tamed, shall I say, that the population is, they accept it as, I think that they've been caught out, I think, by this. I know it's a very different culture, very different country.
I think that's why over in China and places like that, they don't ever get all the climate change and all that stuff, because all the climate change stuff that we hear in this side of the world is to get us in line to how China is now.
Right, that's it. These
correct?
are just tools. Yeah, these are just tools that they use. It's fear porn, propaganda, crime, fraud. These are tools. That's all they are. So that they can use this narrative. But it's very interesting, the conversation that we had about the individuals who are pounding out this narrative and have been for so long have now decided that they're not going to do it anymore. They're going to ease off on it. And right there in that statement, and I saw one of these broadcasts, and they've basically just said, well, there is no crisis.
We're talking about Mr. Gates here.
Yes, the wonderful William, and and all of those people. It's more about I think it was closer to 1,000 NGOs or something like that have now said, we're backing off from this. There's no need to panic about it. Well, then it wasn't a crisis, was it? What did you fix it just in that sentence? Yeah, you did, because that's all it was, just words.
And
yet,
how many people
propaganda
have woken up by that, though? That's my
Well,
biggest contention.
yeah, right. That's the point of this. Take a look at that statement to your viewers right now. Take a look at that statement. There it was. I wish I'd got the screenshot of it now. So, when it was put out, there's no need to panic about it. Is what it said. We've got other things to deal with. Yeah, sure you have. Digital ID.
Like buying seafront villas
Yeah, exactly.
for the oceans, which are supposed to be rising.
Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
that.
Yeah. Um, and their digital ID, which is not going so well because the good a very good percentage of the population have woken up to what this is a tool for.
That's it, and that's
Uh,
a really good thing because, unlike all the other
yeah,
things that they've tried, even the non-conspiratorial are against this because it's still a privacy matter.
yeah,
So this does affect everyone. So perhaps this is the straw that broke the camel's back with regards to overthrowing what we would call a tyrannical regime.
yeah, a fascist corporation. But you just look at, I mean, all you got to do is look at the narrative. They suddenly, we've got this massive influx of people coming in, and we know where they're coming from. We know how they're getting here. We know most why. And the hilarious bit is that suddenly, just right on cue, drum roll, please. Oh, we need a digital ID. Well, we don't need one. And so just think about this. Forget your ones and zeros. Yeah, your digital ID. It's all it is going to stop boats coming across the channel. How? How does that work? What are we going to do? Put a big string around the country and
And and and for me
tie all the brick cars
personally,
together?
yeah, and for me personally, I would say the people coming over on the boats, that's the show. I should imagine there's probably a darn sight more of them coming in via planes and other
Yeah,
means. What
yeah,
we see coming
absolutely.
over by boats, I think, is just like the here you go, look at this, look what's happening. But I don't think you're seeing the full
No,
picture.
no, not at all. You never see the full picture with these people because they're criminals. These people that are coming over are a tool. This is which is what's really sad, is that they are a tool. They're being used, and the people that are saying that this is a migrant, how they put it, a migrant crisis, and that they're refugees, and that we need to look after them. Is that these are the people that are actually organising the boats and bring them in. This has been proven, so we know that this is a deliberate tool for whatever it is they're up to. Uh, and now and spring the digital ID off the back of it, saying that we everyone needs this thing, or they need this thing, but you've got to have one too. We've got to have one.
Yeah,
Do you,
it's essentially the solution to their problem reaction.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And, it's laughable. Um, the there was the thing is with this is that with the digital ID side of it, it is just a digital version of everything that I have spoken about before. Um, it is a digital fraudulent crown copyright bond title, um, which brings me actually to the letter that's floating around. Um,
Oh, it's just the letter that was sent to me by somebody,
yeah,
like the affidavit type letter.
well, I've seen it and I've looked at it, and this letter is it's a question.
Okay.
It's a question for people to ask.
Okay.
Is
Well,
your digital
for the
ID?
sake of the audience, I'll just play that video because I've made it as a video. So here you go.
Send hand deliver to any man, woman, body corporate or body politic, office or agent that asks for or claims mandatory requirement of national digital ID. Also include notarized and witnessed copies to the following. Notice for requirement of material evidence. This document is made under and in agreement with the following internationally accepted maxims and principles of law. Notitia principalem est, noti agentem. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. And qui non negare accipit. He who does not deny accepts. And an saluto tabellum dare veritas exprimator. Truth is expressed in the form of an affidavit. And quod est illicitum, praetexu legalitatis non debit introire. What is unlawful ought not to be entered under the pretext of legality. And jus et fraus nunquam una manent. Right and fraud never abide together, and salutus tabellum dare veritas in mercatura. An unrebutted affidavit stands as truth in commerce, and in saluta bellum dare judicium in mercatura. An unrebutted affidavit becomes the judgment in commerce. And quod invitus a me fit, factum non est. An act done by me against my will is not my act. And consensus facit legem, a contract is a law between the parties, which can acquire force only by consent. Consent makes the law, and fros omnia vitiat, fraud vitiates everything. And Joel Post Office Code. Dear. The man-woman acting as role. We require material evidence, not hearsay or opinion, professional or otherwise, that the National Digital ID Scheme is not connected howsoever and or whatsoever to the fraudulent Crown copyright bond. Annuity titles in the form of a certificate of an entry in the form of a word mark, aka the birth certificate. Mere denial and or failure of apparent due diligence is not material evidence, lawful or legal excuse, nor defence, therefore will not be accepted as material evidence or rebuttal in form. And we require point-by-point documented, evidenced, autographed proofs within 14 days. Failure to provide the material evidence precisely as required, and also, in accordance with national and international law, could result in prosecution in accordance with the following acts: Slavery Abolition Act 1833, Modern Slavery Act 2015, Slave Trade Act 1907, Slavery Felony, Fraud Act 2006, Section 1, Section 4, Section 45, Treason Felony Act 1848, Treason Act 1901, Section 3, Theft Act 1968, Securities Act 1933, Sections 1, 2, 3, 4, Section 4, Section 17A, Fraud upon the Court. Accessories and Abettors Act 1861, Terrorism Act 2000, Murder, Section 8, Section 1, Section 1, 3, Malice aforethought. The Homicide Act 1957, ICC Act 2001, Ref Section 1, Section 5, and Section 5.2, Autograph, Gold, Purple, Red, Office of the Executor Sole Executor, P.O. Box of the deceased estates of Anytown, all caps Rum, and also including all illustrative and descriptive title nomenclature, and stamp and thumbprint in red before me. Finish at the bottom with all inalienable rights reserved, non-assumptive, without vexation, without ill will, without frivolity, without recourse, without prejudice, errors and omissions accepted. Important notes and facts. 1. Read first carefully and keep. Do not whatsoever or howsoever alter the typeface, text, words, terms, grammar, punctuation, and or style of the document. Recreate precisely as it appears down to the last detail. Prosody rate 10. One mistake can result in the document becoming void. Failure to rebut or provide the required material evidence proof. Slavery Abolition Act 1833. Modern Slavery Act 2015. Slave Trade Act 1907. Slavery Felony. Fraud Act 2006, Section 1, Section 4, Section 45. Treason Felony Act 1848, Treason Act 1901, Section 3, Theft Act 1968, Securities Act 1933, Sections 1, 2, 3, 4, Section 4, Section 17A, Accessories and Abettors Act 1861, Terrorism Act 2000, Murder, CL, Section 8, Section 1, Section 1.3, Malice aforethought, ICC Act 2001, Section 5. Therefore, any ID form or any other thing becomes void ab initio upon discovery, fraud by failure of disclosure, omission. There is no statute of limitations upon the discovery of fraud in the Western world. Once there is a failure to rebut or provide documented proofs, a commercial lien can be issued. A series of perfected commercial liens can create commercial legal paper, bonds, drafts, etc. This question covers passport, driver license, digital national ID, banks and HMRC, employers. A good idea would be to start sending to key entities, particularly employers, gov, police, council, school, bank, HMRC, NHS, etc., etc. Use the attached list first. Key acts to pay attention to: President, Rice versus Connolly 1966 as follows. Key President, Carlyle versus the Carbolic Smoke Ball Co. 1893. EWCA Civ 1 1OB56 CA E QB 484. The Discrimination and Equality Act 2010. This is incorrect. You were protected before you took your first breath under the common law of this land. The 2010 Act merely suggests that your rights are nothing more than privileges, which is a violation of real law.
I assume that is the same letter.
That is the same letter, yeah.
Right. Okay. So what do you make of that?
It's asking anyone who is demanding, requiring, forcing, coercing people to use this digital ID system, a brick card or I don't exactly know what form it's in or how it's going to come. Either way, it isn't
It'll come
you.
like this, won't it?
Right, yeah. That's where they want your whole life. But it's not you. It is a fraudulent Crown copyright bond title that's the same one in the form of the certificate of the entry on the fraudulent BC in a word mark.
Yeah,
It's not you.
It's not you.
It's not you. It's not you. It is a criminal offence on top of another criminal offence on top of another criminal offence. This is what they do. They just commit crime, and this is just yet another one. This is they're trying to get this in so that they can implement this system with digital money and a complete digital control grid. And if they get this thing in,
not good. So with that letter, then I assume that's for people to send in to.
It looks like it's to be sent to anyone who is saying, well, you need a digital ID for this. Well, no, you don't need an ID. Well, you don't even need an ID. What's an ID for? I know who I am. In the entire system, every single aspect of the entire system is built upon these fraudulent titles. The banking industry, NHS, the damn police. Don't even get me started on these. They're not police. They're not police. They are an unusual military, is what their legal definition is. They are a foreign enemy combatant on your home soil. And they're using these fraudulent Crown copyright bond titles and they are attaching them to you. They are as guilty as the people who created it, which is the largest terrorist organization in the world, the Bar. There's no justice in these places. Many of you have had your experiences. I believe that I sent you a link at one point to the video of the gentleman who'd had some experiences in a so-called court in north of England somewhere, and he had literally come out and said, wow, I've just had them say, you know, we are not speaking to you, we don't recognize you, you know, it's
on
you
video.
have to operate. I know it was a link.
Oh, you might have to resend.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
I get so many fucking emails. It's
no, that's fine. I'll tell you what we'll do is if I send you the links, I'll send both of the links, and then you can include them in the
description.
In the video.
Yeah, not a problem.
So people can go and have a look and see it for themselves. And so it's, you know, there's many people that are looking at this now and saying, "Oh my God, this is actually true. This is actually true." And he's standing there outside on the court steps, going, "This guy, they won't speak to me. They won't, you know, they won't. It actually is. They will only deal with the corporate fiction." They're openly admitting this. And it's very odd because
my friend went into court. He sent me the audio. I won't say who he is or what it is about, but he went in as executor, and they banished the case at the end. Long story short, he went in his own authority,
and they
made them all realise that they're all the trustees. There's no claim, blah 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 blah, and he walked out. So it does work.
Yeah, well, it works because these I'm being really nice here that these very stupid, stupid people have done what they've done from the beginning. This was their world as well, but they've decided that they want it for themselves. They want money, they want power, they want control, and they're not going to get it.
No, I don't think
And what they're going to get
stupid's the
now,
right word though, because it's very
no, like I said, I'm
cunning
being
of what
nice.
they've done. That's
Yeah,
quite
I'm being
clever
really nice. I'm also in the
in the
quietest
public.
pub in the world. Well, I'm in the quietest pub in the world. But they, or what they've done
Cunning.
is what they've done. They've done to themselves, and what's coming to them.
But do you see that time coming?
Yeah, these people have done this to themselves, and they will face justice, real justice, for what they've done.
See, I would love to think so. I really would. But if you
Yeah,
listen, but if you listen to people like the White Hats, they will tell you that they've all been taken and dealt with, and what we're seeing are all actors and people with masks. See, I don't buy into that at all.
no, there's a lot of this that's put out there by these very people that want you, the men and women out there, to sit on your backsides and do absolutely nothing. Well, we don't need to worry because Donald Trump has been on the phone to the Zeta Reticulans who are coming in with the med beds to rescue you all. So sit tight. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no
Right.
one coming to save us.
No,
You've just got to educate yourself on how it works.
if you want a solution, the solution is in here and here. You are not anyone's property. You're not anyone's property. You don't require contracts with these people to go from point A to B, to do this, to do that, to live. You do not need permission to live. They have essentially, like as I described before, stolen everything from us and then sold it back to us at 10,000 times the price.
Yeah. They've turned our inalienable rights, I can never say that sodding word, inalienable rights, as privileges.
Yeah,
Well, privileges
yeah,
can be
exactly.
taken off you.
Yeah,
Even the English Constitution, really, that's still, although they're rights, it's written by man for man under common law, and common law, it's natural law, really, isn't it? That's what we need. It's either natural law or
the common law
legal.
is the common law is the law that's understood by you and I. Simple things. It's so simple to understand that you don't need post-it notes on the side of your bed so that you can read every day saying, don't go out and kill anyone, don't go out and steal anything, don't do this, you don't need that. We know that's commonly understood between all of us so that we don't go out causing harm, loss, injury, and killing people. We don't need any of this corporate policy, which is what it is.
Although I think some of the boat people might. Pardon me.
They're a tool.
Yeah,
They are. It's sad. It's very sad because they're a tool. They're a tool in somebody else's game.
They're a pawn, essentially.
Yeah,
Aren't
they are a pawn.
same as we're a pawn.
And it's very sad. And I've tried to communicate and still making efforts to communicate with many people from all over the world. So that they can see it, because this same fraud is happening everywhere. You've only got to forget letters and all of these pieces of paper. None of you need them. You don't need them. You don't need bits of paper to see what's in your hearts and minds. Take a look outside. Take a look at your high streets. See what's happening. Your high streets are being destroyed. Your families are being destroyed. Finances are being destroyed. There's people are literally at the point of suicide. Suicide is up an unbelievable level, and it's because of this. So this has got to stop, and this is happening all over the world, mostly the Western countries, but it's happening everywhere.
So, what do you see as the solution then? Obviously, being in the private as opposed to being in the public.
Yeah, it's about taking back control of. It's about knowing who you are. Know who you are. You're not anyone's property. do not engage with these people. They have based this entire reality that this fraudulent reality that they've given to us, and it's based on this one document, this fiction. You operate in fiction, and that's what that gentleman said when he comes out that courtroom, and when the penny really drops for him, and he's saying, he says, "Oh my God," he says, "everything you just operate in fiction. It's all fraud, the whole lot." Like, yeah, it is. Nothing. That's how they operate. So you've got to make sure that you know who you are, and then start operating outside of that system. And that means giving up this entitlement, which is what it is. Accepting these titles. Do not accept these titles. That is not you.
How can the average... I nearly said it. I nearly fucking said it. How can the
It's hard, isn't it?
How can the average not person start living by that way? Because it is incredibly difficult when, it's easy to say, but when, like, I've got a mortgage, I've got kids, we've all got bills to pay. I know lots of people don't pay them, and hats off to those that don't. But a lot of people have still got that fear paradigm of the repercussions. Now, I know a lot of the time those repercussions are literally just made up fear because it doesn't actually happen. But how do people get into that mindset? How can we change people?
But on the other side of it, there are occasions where they will come in and use brute force. I mean, this just shows you exactly who they are. Take a genuine situation where somebody cannot afford to pay whatever. Those people are then criminalized. What kind of system's that? It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you.
But the MPs can have their expenses all paid.
Right, and private jets, and yeah. I could be a lot more brutal than I'd be now. Move
I'll
away
tell
from
you
it.
what, one day we will do a recording, and we will just have it on Patreon or somewhere, and you can just let rip.
That sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'm just, as positive words for people. They are not going to change. You've got to look in here from my perspective. It's you. A lot of us that actually need to change. They're not going to.
Be the change you want to see.
Yeah, be the change that you want to see. There's many ways, and talking about the business thing. Last time I said that we were going to talk about business things. Lots has happened since then with their efforts to try and shut me up. Well, they can go and screw themselves. With the business side of it, there are options available right now for any business to step away from that financial system almost completely. In fact, I would say completely, and operate outside of it right now. You can do that right now.
And how does one do that?
Well, this is I hadn't exactly planned our podcast to talk about this. I've had a few bits and pieces ready here, but that can be done with a system that's already been set up privately with its own debit cards. That can be used right now. I moved my fake money, my fiat money, away from that system a long time ago and out into this one. Any business can operate on this of any size and just start using these alternatives that are out there now. It's one of the things that they've actually done is try and put a great deal of fear into new technologies, particularly blockchain technologies, and try to push. Yeah, well, they've captured Bitcoin, so you want to stay away from that. Yeah. They've also captured Zcash, so don't go anywhere near Zcash. Never heard of that. Yeah, don't go anywhere near it whatsoever. You'll notice that when everything crashed, it went up. And they pumped it and tried to sort of pass it off as a privacy coin. It's not whatsoever. It's called Zcash for a reason, if you've got eyes to see. It's theirs. But the true privacy coins, they're there, they exist. You can use them right now. There's a great video. I'll see if I can find it. Maybe you can fit it in here somewhere, using one of them. And it's great, and it just shows you what the world could be if you come away from using that debt-based system, because that's what it is. It's a fake debt-based currency and a debt-based system.
Well, there is only debt and credit, isn't it? That's what the world runs on. There's no money.
fake credit. It's not really credit. It's more debt. It's just debt and slavery, debt and
That dressed
slavery.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that you stay in debt, drowning in debt, struggling to keep your head above the water.
They're doing a good job.
Yeah, they are. Which is why you can imagine the level of control that they'll have if they bring in a digital currency. They will be able to switch you on and off instantaneously. For wrong think, wrong speak, it will be anything. You're not buying any gas anymore. You're not going to be beer anymore. You're not buying any cigarettes anymore. You're not having any red meat. You're not flying. You're not.
Do you think perhaps maybe that's why the Met Police have said that they're not going to be concentrating or putting any energy towards like thought crime now, because
They're backing off on that as well, are they?
well, yeah, that's what I've read, that they're no longer going to be knocking on people's doors over a Facebook tweet or a Facebook tweet. That's a no.
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean.
And arresting 15-year-old boys for saying something on a private Zoom call.
Or a pensioner for
Right.
saying something about a council, or anything like that. And so, do you think that's because that they think that the digital ID will take care of all that, because everything will be linked to it, i.e., your social media, your bank account, your
Right.
everything?
Right. So, I mean, that could fit in with.
So it looks like they're backing off, going, "Oh, we're giving you a bit more
Yeah,
privacy," but really,
yes,
they're just
they're absolutely up to something. I can
yeah.
definitely, and I think it's got to do with the digital ID. They're backing off the so-called climate crisis, which within a single sentence, and this is a point, this just shows you people listen in a single sentence, in a single broadcast, in a little thing, an article that they wrote, they're backing off and focusing on things that are more. So it wasn't a crisis then. So you lied then. Right, because if it was a crisis, it would still be a crisis, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
It's not anymore. So in a single sentence, in a single broadcast, in a single tiny little article, it's no longer a crisis. Right. Okay. So it was a lie from the
Can we
start.
have our money back, please?
Right. Yeah.
Can we stop
Yeah,
with the carbon credit bullshit?
Yes.
Because you
Absolute
can't say
rubbish.
things like that, but then continue as though nothing has changed.
No. They're getting battered from all angles. They know that there's an enormous amount of resistance. I think this is one of the things that is another thing that's helping is this letter that is being sent out to these people asking this question. Is this digital ID, brick card, shit card, whatever you want to call it, attached to these fraudulent bond titles, which you've been attaching to men and women in violation of every single law in the bloody land? Yes, it is. But they can't answer it. And it was very interesting. One of the responses that apparently came from the so-called Bar Association with their typical it's hilarious.
A response from that letter that we played.
Right, yeah.
Right, okay.
The Meads versus Meads argument.
They always roll that one out.
You people need new bloody material. I mean, really, seriously, anything, any argument, anywhere. Meads versus Meads, sovereign citizen? And we talked about that, the sovereign citizen thing, a complete oxymoron. It is. It's just ridiculous. Their narrative is. It's a joke. It's a joke. It really is.
It is, yeah. You're not going to get any arguments from me there.
They're not. They can't answer the question because the answer is yes. It is.
So what did they say then?
It's the way that it was worded was a typical Bar. They sort of they look down on things in this feigned antagonism that this weird group of people over there have saying these things and using these words in a certain way. Typical of the. What was it? Free men on land or something else?
Free man of the land.
Yeah, I am a free man. I'm not a citizen of the United Kingdom or the corporation. I don't need your permission to do anything, Bar Association. You're outside of your jurisdiction anyway.
Well, was the letter
And
full
I don't
of
live in the sea.
joinder?
Sorry, it was the
Letter full of joinder, like their legalese words to try and capture you back into their world.
It looked the description. It was them describing this letter as in the way that they do from this. I don't know how to describe it.
Did
It's,
they rebut it in any way, or
they
did they
rebut
dismiss it?
everything.
Okay, well, because
A
companies
dismissal
house
is
didn't, did they?
yeah,
They
exactly. They can't rebut it, but they rebut everything. This is the thing with these people. It's deny everything. I have confronted these people eyeball to eyeball. I'm not scared of them. They're just people. They're just people committing criminal acts. So I've got no problem going into their offices and going right up to them, say, this is what you're doing. They don't like it.
I can
Um,
imagine.
no, no. Last one, they virtually sent the SWAT team round. That was fun. After communicating with the so-called chief constable, which was hilarious. I'm going back to see her again, actually. But no, they can't. They can't rebut this because it's the truth. And as I explained to somebody who said, "Oh no, I don't think they don't know about this," and I took them with me, and I waited for him this gentleman to spot something. I said the answer to their guilt is right in front of you. If you've got a group of people that are claiming to be some form of law enforcement, and you raise serious indictable offences to them in front of them, and they don't bat an eyelid, they don't make no effort whatsoever, no questions, no investigation, nothing, just blank. No, we're not. No, we're
Plausible
not.
deniability.
No, it's not even plausible. It's we've got the
Deniability.
material evidence of their guilt. Hence the SWAT team.
So what does that letter? How will that letter help you then? Like in
You're
the
asking.
grand, like in the grand
It's
scheme
just a
of
question.
things.
It's literally just a. But look at it. It's just a question, and it's right. It's absolutely correct. Is uh, the digital ID, national ID, related to the fraudulent crown copyright bond titles in the form of a certificate of an entry, birth certificate, in the form of a word mark, which is what it is. They can't answer it because the answer is yes, it is.
I see. Even David Icke is picking up on this now.
Yeah, answer. If it's you look at this like this response from the bar, and I'm assuming it's a bar member. It's written in the typical bar style. You know, free men of the court, the alleged court, not the Star Chamber, the court. Um, it doesn't deny anything. This is what they deny without denying. If I asked you, if I said to you, Chris, I believe that last Tuesday you came round to my house, shot my dog, and stole my car, what would you say?
No, I did not.
Right, exactly. The normal response for you would be to turn around and go, yeah, right. No, I didn't. And thanks for the accusation. Now prove it. You don't get that.
No,
They never come back because they know what they're doing. They know they're
they'd
doing
be
this.
committing perjury, wouldn't they?
This is one of the things I actually said. I was in a situation because I didn't want to. I didn't want to cause any extra or unnecessary problems for myself or them. And one of these individuals was about to open their mouth on something, and I did. That's exactly what I said. Was careful,
Woof woof.
silence.
Yeah. See,
But
the
that's all
words are
this is.
strong when you know how to use them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's important that people do learn this. I mean, I've had people say to me that you've completely misunderstood it. This is not how it is. And I was like, no, well, if you can't see it, I'm never going to be able to see it. It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you.
That's
They
it.
don't hide it. It's written into all their books. Read them.
It's a bloody big rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
Huge.
it is huge, but this is one of the reasons, why would you create a system like this with all of these books and this is something that we've talked about, where you have all of these multiple meanings for words and that are supposed to be, and you don't know at any one time what they're talking about. That's not a lawful system. That's a system that's open to interpretation, manipulation, fraud.
Which I guess is where equity court comes in.
I hate that word.
Do you?
Yeah.
In principle, it
Uh,
sounds good. Like, yes, it
yeah.
might not be a law, but is it fair? Is it right? Is it just?
I've seen and read about these certain courts that will pass themselves off as, courts of equity. It's like, really? Well, the second they wrote to you and told you that you either were summoned or had to attend or required to attend, it's not you that's required to attend, it's the Crown copyright title. What's equitable about that? It's very simple. You were murdered at birth and forced into a life of fiction, and I've got a problem with that. And so should all of you. And it doesn't matter whether it's digital, whether it's on paper, whether it's your banking contracts, your passports, your driver's license, any of it. It's all fraud, and it's got to stop.
Yeah. I just wish I knew how. I think awareness has to be a big player. The more people
Yeah,
the more people that are aware of what's going on, the more chance that we stand. But as it stands at the moment, from from a singular perspective, I don't want to say individual because that's one of their words. Honestly, whenever I do video talks now, if I say a word that I know it's going to be a state word, I always go. So I'm acknowledging what I'm
yeah.
saying isn't my word, but it is
That's in the
hard.
sovereign citizen style, by the way.
But it's hard not to use words because you still have to convey a message to people who might not be that clued up, and so they still have to understand what's being said. And so if it means using their language, like accidentally saying person or something,
Yeah, and just one word of these things can actually pull you back into their world. I've made you a document.
100%.
I've made you a document that maybe you can. I don't know whether you can attach PDF documents to your.
Only to my
So,
Patreon.
right.
I
Okay.
can upload.
Yeah. And it'll help people to understand if you take a look at this terminology where people turn around and say, well, I don't understand this. There's no sort of evidence that it's linked to, any time of admiralty, maritime, or military, or commerce, or anything else. And I went, really, isn't that right? So what I've done is made a document up. The thing is, with this document, I could be here for years creating it. So I've got to I'll just stop it at some point, and then you can have it to share with people with the most obvious and some not so well known language that's been there right in front of you your whole life without you actually knowing what it meant.
What, so like
It doesn't matter
legalese
what it means to
stuff,
you; it's what it means to them. So
legalese words.
yeah, and trick words, trick language, and this is the trick language that I discussed before, an extension of it. Where certain words mean one thing, or you've been told that that's what they mean, but to them in their dictionaries, that's what it means to them. So it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you write. But it's very interesting. If you, I don't know whether you've ever heard one of these so-called letters from a freeman on the land read out in a court. Have you actually heard how they read it out?
I don't think so.
But it's very
And
interesting.
if I have, I can't remember.
They will. It's extremely childish because they go through.
They do it in a patronising way, I assume.
It's done in a patronising way, but they highlight all of the punctuation and the grammar, which is where I was saying before about the grammar, why they had to steal your ability to identify the crime. Now, I know that there's people that like just actually it brings me to a good point to respond to one of the comments that I saw on one of the last videos from somebody. It stuck out to me. And he sort of said he's very interested to hear about the business aspect, or Mr. Angry, as he called me, and how I contribute to the system and so on and blah de blah. And but you don't want to have to listen to me talk about you not being able to read or write for another 45 minutes. Well, I believe it was about 1 minute 30 seconds that I spent telling you that you couldn't read or write, and there's a reason for that. And when you go into it in a really deep level, you see why, what they've done with this language, and how they fool you. So it's very simple. It's it's very easy to fall into their linguistic traps. And this is something that, after looking at it a while, it stands out to you. And that's something I was trying to convey to you, how serious. It's not just a simple matter of, you
No, it's all the hidden
name.
meanings behind the words,
Yeah,
because they're
it's not.
double meaning.
Yeah, not just the title, not just
Mm.
the title that they've used and the way that they've, it's their grammatical rules, their punctuation, the grammar, everything. And when you hear them talk about this in the court, when you hear them read these letters out, it's absolutely hilarious, because they will go through the letters and they'll read I's, I's, little I with colon, colon, so and so. This read it out. This is how they read it out, and you're going to sit there and listen to them read it out, and it's like they're mocking it, but they know
VC dot
exactly.
dot dot
Right,
whatever.
they know exactly what this means, but they go into this, it's like a feigned antagonism, that they're somehow offended by it. It's a joke. This has got to come from you, the people out there. Refuse this digital ID. Refuse it. They are going to turn the screw. They are really going to turn the screw. And as I said to somebody just recently, it's not going to be a death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's going to be death by 1,000,000. They will find, it'll be one day you'll go onto a website, and that website you can't access that without a digital ID. And then it will be this, and then it will be that, and it will be something else. And they've already started doing it with the technological side of it, and sort of fitting these things into the hardware of your computers, so that this control mechanism will be in place. I mean,
A bit like your smart meters as well.
yeah. Do you know anything about the Windows 11? I don't know what system you're using.
Oh, Windows 11.
And has it got Copilot and all of that on it, taking photographs and snapshots of everything
Well, I
you
haven't
do?
got a webcam, so I don't know if it can take photos. Or do you mean screenshots?
Yeah, it's taking screenshots, and it's the technology is, see what you see, hear what you hear, know what you type.
I have been looking into other systems. I was looking into like Linux,
Yeah,
but I don't know. And you can have that downloaded onto your computer, onto like a Windows computer. But I
what, like
just
a dual
haven't.
boot? You can't do that anymore. They've made it so that when you do a dual boot, that Windows will now destroy the partition for Linux.
I really see. I know I don't know anything about IT, so I'm
Yeah,
clueless.
yeah, I'm quite fluent with that, and I've got something coming to help people, which is a technology website, so you can shift away from the big tech, so that we can move away from these methods of control. But obviously, your phone is going to be the big, and they've done such a fantastic job of making everybody love this thing, and more importantly, need it for everything. I
Oh,
see
it's an
people now,
addiction.
yeah, yeah, constantly. It's shocking the damage it's done, but also how they've used it. I see people in supermarkets who are now paying for things, and it doesn't work properly either, um, with these virtual cards. This is just a slip to this CBDC.
I've said to my kids over and over and over again, they are evil.
Yes, they
So
are.
even I've covered up my front camera. Look,
Yeah, yeah,
because I don't know about these phones, but I know iPhones, they take infrared pictures every 5 or every 10 seconds or whatever it is.
yeah, yeah. If you that's true. If you actually
And if you're
leave it
knocking
on.
one out, you hardly want any naughty pictures being sent across. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there's some serious technology that's actually being put on these things. One of the most insidious technologies, client-side scanning, where they can actually scan the media on your device, and then that gets sent off and matched to a number of others. Now, in theory, this technology, as they will gloss it, is there for what they say it's for. Um, but that technology can work both ways. So imagine yourself where you say something that somebody else doesn't like or agree with, and they think, no. So suddenly one of these images appears on your device. That's a very
Slippery slope.
that's a quick way to take somebody out and shut someone up, and it's their method of control. I mean, that's how they've managed to compromise half of these people that are, a so-called authority.
It's fucking scary times, isn't it? I can't remember
Yeah,
who it was that I had on the podcast before, and they said that, you know, any technology that's ever released to us isn't released to us unless it's been weaponized.
Right. Yeah, the technology conversation came up just recently, and there are technologies that can be used. They can't hack, all of these technologies. As long as you move away, you want technologies that are yours, that are created by developers who value open source software, things that you can audit yourself. This is what this website's going to be for. It's going to be helping people make that transition from the control systems away so that you know what you're using in terms of technology, in terms of your operating system. Uh, you can buy devices that, in terms of phones, that are relatively safe. But if you're using that system, your calls can still be listened to. They can still be recorded.
Isn't it
You're
anything
still
over 10
exposing
minutes
yourself.
they automatically record?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the
That's what I'd heard, that any
right.
conversation that you make on your phone over 10 minutes, it automatically starts recording that conversation.
Right.
I don't know if that's
It
true.
wouldn't surprise me.
There's so much bullshit, both sides of the fence.
We've got no right to do this. This is one of the reasons I'm saying moving away from this technology. It's not just they don't have the right to do this. If you've got a proper system of justice in place and somebody is either planning or does commit any form of crime, ultimately they will pay the price for it under a proper lawful system. We don't have a proper lawful system.
It's such a shame, really, because when you think about even like 30 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, the English police force and our justice system and our BBC was all viewed with such authority and such, God, look at them. They don't need guns. They don't. Do you know what I mean? Now we're just a bloody laughing stock, a joke. And I know that's by design,
Yeah.
but
This is one of the reasons this is why they've taken the hold of the media, so they can control that narrative. They can funnel it down so that you get a very limited perspective. And this is how they control information, and why you've got so many, or at least it appears, so many people that are or have been asleep. They don't know what's going on because they have this very
amnesia.
finite view of what's going on in the world. But that's changing now. People are seeing that now because they're taking the mask off, because it's got to that point where they have to move forward with the goals that they want to achieve, and the only way to do that is to walk out into the room and show everybody what they're doing.
So
Now, many others,
I'm also a huge fan of that 100 monkeys scenario. So the more people in their conscious minds know about something, other consciousnesses, whatever you want to say, automatically pick it up. So
yeah,
it's like the 100 monkeys where they were learning something. After 100 monkeys have learned how to do it, the other monkeys just know it intuitively. It's
right,
like this consciousness headfuck.
like a quantum connection. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, and us having these conversations, these open conversations with everybody, will then hopefully that is going to change that. But everyone is already looking out the window, taking a look at the serious state of our country. I've got another link that I'd like to send you from a gentleman that does a podcast, and as a financial one. His name's Neil McCoy, and he just posted something regarding the levels of homelessness in this country and how these figures
Shocking.
are being manipulated. I don't know whether you've seen it.
I haven't, no.
I will send you the link, and so that your viewers can take a look at it. But it is absolutely staggering. And this is all by design, so that ultimately we will all yield to them. We need them. That's what they want. They want us to need them for everything.
Yeah.
Countries now rolling out and putting into place, the universal basic income foundations.
But the thing that makes me laugh the most, though, they want us to need them, but then when they do like help, then the contempt on their faces when they help you, it's like they don't really want to help you, do they?
No, they don't, and it's not help; it's control. It's all
Yeah.
about that. I mean, you take a look at the current systems that are out there, even with the way that it was. I've had people sort of tell me about it, things that I didn't know about, like welfare and benefit systems. Uh,
Shocking.
yeah, absolutely horrific, and it's only got worse. But once you're on that, it's a trap. It is a trap, and it's an extremely powerful tool.
I told
Um,
Universal Credit to shove it.
right, good,
They
because now,
want because it was like tight. We were due the where they like what do they call it? Renew your claim,
right,
and they wanted however much bank statements and stuff. And I thought, you know what? For as much, hardly if anything, that you give us, I don't think that's a fair swap. So, thank you, but no thank you. Close the claim.
yeah, yeah. I mean, apart from the fact it's, hey, let's see your bank statements. You're a criminal, proof. I'm not condoning any kind of fraud whatsoever. In fact, it's openly opposing it, as I've just said. But it's just
But it goes against every human rights act I can think of where they're snooping on your private
yeah,
affairs,
yes.
which
Did I?
takes you
Did
to
I see
equity
that?
again because it's not right.
Right. Yeah. And the common law takes care of that. No harm, no loss, no injury, no death. Remain honourable in your dealings, whatever they are, however they are. Doesn't matter whether it's financial, business, whatever. Your interactions with other people. We generally do not treat each other like this. This only exists. All of these problems that we've got in the world exist because they were legislated to exist.
Yeah,
That's why they're here. Every single problem that we have got is here because they created it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here.
yeah.
And the only people that are going to change this is us by saying no to this digital ID. No, we don't need it. No, sorry, my digital ID is not going to stop boats coming across. I don't need to prove who I am. I know who I am.
I'm 45 years old. I've managed this far in society without one. I don't need it. Thank you. Goodbye.
Right, exactly. The whole thing is completely pointless anyway. It's completely pointless.
Well, this is what Tony Blair tried to push in the 90s, isn't it? The ID card. Was it Tony Blair?
Yeah, that's
And that
right. No,
got
but
pushed
yeah, it
back
was like
then.
wasn't it like a biometric version of your passport, still in some places in Europe, as if
Something like that.
I think a friend of mine's got one. He's from Europe, and he's got one of these cards. It looks a little bit like a driving license, but it's a sort of passport, and he can use it and travel without his passport. If that's the same thing that,
Well, that's convenient, isn't it?
well, yes, yeah, it's all convenient. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
all these things for
Yes,
our
please.
convenience. Yeah, no more. Anything that's done for your convenience is not. I guarantee you, it's not for your convenience.
Well, I've got a
This,
plan. My plan is because of all the, especially given what I do, and I'm talking my truth. Whether it turns out to be the truth is another matter. But I always run the risk of imprisonment for hate speech or for naughty words. So I'm thinking perhaps I could go over to America under asylum, political asylum, for fear of being incarcerated for having an opinion. And then once I'm over in America, I'm just going to live like the fucking Amish.
yeah, makes you feel like that. It does make you feel like
It
that. But
does.
that's why it's more important for us to come together and recognize who we are. They are not the. We are. They are supposed to be our servants. They are supposed to be this small little entity that keeps the toilets clean, keeps the lights switched on, and that's it. And they've gone from where they are to where we are now because of our compliance, because of our laziness. We are as much to blame for the problems that we've got as they are. So it, it's up to us as well to make these changes within ourselves. say, no, with your digital ID, I don't need one. I don't need one to operate in life. I don't need to prove who I am. I am who I am, the same individual that I was yesterday, the day before.
Hmm.
I didn't need one with dealing with you and your corporation for the last 20, 30, 40 years, whatever. So me having one now isn't going to stop that from being able to happen, is it? Whether it's based on a fraudulent Crown copyright bond title or not.
Exactly. Yep.
It's all a fraud. It's all a fraud. We know where it's going. They want to bring down this digital control. You sign up and let this one, this
I
is the whole.
generally don't think it's going to work. I honestly think that there's too many people opposing this. And like I said, it's not just the conspirators who are against this. It's pretty much everyone, because everyone can see what this is like. Just talk to any one of your Polish friends or acquaintances, neighbours. They can recognise this because they can see the signs, what they had in Poland, overall.
Yeah, yeah,
They can recognise what's happening on in the government when they watch the news. Like, oh, no, yeah,
yeah.
it's so obvious.
It is
So people
obvious.
do need to. And what with the BBC admitting, although I appreciate it's not actually the BBC, it was Panorama who are outsourcing their production to other companies, but ultimately the buck stops with the BBC, but for doctoring the speech of Donald Trump. So
Right.
I think we should all be due, if anyone pays a TV license, we should all be due rebates, because the news that they've been selling us as news is nothing more than theatre.
Exactly.
They even call it news stories.
And they are news stories, and it's something that actually came up on Neil's channel. He was shocked. He actually made a point of this. He's normally talking about financial issues, things like that, and he said. He said, I was absolutely shocked at this article in the paper, and it was about how these residents from wherever it was were complaining that there was a little piece of their pavement outside of their house that was just a tiny bit sloped, and this was headline front of the newspaper, top story, really.
All I can say is,
Talk about
resident,
dumbing down.
you're not a resident. That's a
Right.
state. That's a state legal word, and you never complained, because a complainant always holds the liability.
Yeah.
So straight away, in that two things that I've picked up, there you go. I am learning.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Just with all that knowledge, you can see that the whole system is fraudulent. They've lost the narrative, and
They're
we
running
just
for
need
cover.
yeah, in many ways. They're also up to something with this digital ID thing, and this, pulling back suddenly from this narrative of the climate change, or climate crisis, climate crisis, that managed to get ended in a single article. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that anymore. We're not going to pay too much attention to it. We've got other more important things to be dealing with. Really, have you? So the crisis is gone.
Hurrah!
Yay!
Let's all,
In a single article, it's gone. Absolutely
all the
amazing.
green initiatives worked.
Yeah. I wonder if the spraying is going to carry on.
Now try turning off the electric grid and the main source of powering that electric grid, and see how well we do. It hasn't
Right.
worked. It hasn't worked. But no. Well, listen, mate. I think that's probably a good time to wrap up. It's been an hour. I've really enjoyed this conversation. It's been a long time waiting.
Yeah.
And it was great to meet you the other day as well. The other
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Likewise, mate. With the business aspect, just because I know that people will pick up on this when saying that the solution's out there, but you haven't come forward with anything. I don't really want to shout broadcast too much, because I'm trying to help people. But if there are businesses out there that are interested in making a change, and want to look at something that I think that you'll be very interested in, I'm happy if Chris is for you to make contact, and we can go from there. So it's for safety and security reasons that I'm not here shouting my mouth off and holding up images and this and that and the other. I'm trying to help people, not get them further into trouble.
Yeah. Playing the long game.
I think we have got to be. I think we've got to be careful and smart.
Mm-hmm.
We need to rebuild what we thought was one thing that's now been revealed to be something else. We need to
Totally
go into
agree.
building mode now and start talking to each other, start looking after each
Be
other.
the architects.
Yeah, exactly. Don't fight amongst each other about what's right or wrong. Take a look at what's going on. Like I said, look up and down your high street. Use this letter. This perfect, absolutely perfect. It says ask them to answer the question. They're not going to be able to answer the question because it's the truth.
Yeah,
Use it.
absolutely.
Use it.
And yeah, perfect. Nice one. Listen, anyone who wants the documents, it goes onto Patreon. I can't be asked to upload it and send it as private emails to everyone who requests it. I haven't got the time for that. I'm sure you know I haven't got the time for that. So if you want it, sign up to my Patreon. Links in the description. Thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I look forward to the next one, because I'm sure there shall be a next one.
Yeah,
And
I'd like to speak
yeah,
again, a little bit
definitely.
more prepared, actually.
Yeah, no worries. We sort that out, not a problem. Everyone watching this, thank you for watching it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, look after yourselves, and I shall speak to you again soon.